This is Unit 2, Lesson 2. These are the examples from the lesson, and then there's some problems that you should try on your own, and I'll tell you when to pause the video. So the first thing, once you know how to identify the angle relationships, is we can use this information to determine whether or not lines are parallel. So in the examples below, we're going to determine if line AB is parallel to CD. And then we're going to explain our reasoning. Again, common thing that you see on the Regents exam is, how did you know this particular thing? How did you determine this? They want you to explain using words. So we'll look at example A. We have this angle and this angle here. These angles are in the same position on each line, so these would be considered corresponding angles. However, one is 70 and one is 60. So AB, not parallel to CD, because corresponding angles are not congruent. If the corresponding angles were congruent, then we would know that the lines are parallel. Let's look at example B. So in example B, I have these two angles. They are on opposite sides of the transversal. They are inside the lines that are intersected by the transversal. So these are alternate interior angles, and they are congruent. So AB is parallel to CD. And how do we know? Alternate interior angles are congruent when two lines cut by a transversal are parallel. I mean, we could add that in too. That should be something that you start to write a lot, but we'll stop there for now. All right, let's take a look at letter C rather. So we have 130 and we have 50. These angles are on the same side of the transversal and inside the two lines that are intersected by the transversal. So these are consecutive interior angles, and the relationship of consecutive interior is that they should be supplementary, which means they add to 180. Have to learn that vocab term. So 130 plus 150 is indeed 180 degrees. So AB parallel to CD, since the consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Say you didn't remember the word supplementary and you could just remember that they needed to add to 180 or sum to 180. You can say AB parallel to CD since the consecutive interior angles add to 180 degrees. Done. All right, let's look at example D. So we have this angle here and this angle here. These are outside of the two lines that are intersected by the transversal. They are on alternate sides, so these are alternate exterior angles. So AB not parallel to CD since alternate exterior angles are not congruent. And that's sufficient. So now I'd like you to try example E and F below. Pause the video here, restart the video once you have answered both of these. At this point, I hope that you have tried E and F. So in E, they give us two angles that are inside the parallel lines on opposite side of the transversals. So these are alternate interior. AB parallel to CD, because the alternate interior angles are congruent. Let's look at example F. We have two angles outside of the two lines that are being intersected by the transversal and on alternate sides of the transversal. So AB is not parallel to CD since the alternate interior angles are not congruent. And that is it for this example.